talking about something that is very personal to me, something I really never tell anybody whatsoever because I was really ashamed of it as a kid, and I've just never really told that many people. It's something that I've never really felt comfortable sharing to people, but this is YouTube, this is all about me, and I want you guys to know, who I am as a person, so I'm going to tell you guys about this. So at a young age, I was actually, diagnosed with something called ADHD, or Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. You guys can really see why it's called ADHD, and nobody ever says the full thing because it's just terrible, guys. It really is. But basically, what it means is I have a hard time paying attention, but I'm also very, very hyper at the same time. Well, I'm not very hyper anymore. I used to be hyper and everything as a kid, and I've kind of grown out of it mostly, but I still have a hard time paying attention to things. So now I'm not really very much of a hyper person. I'm really chill. I'm really relaxed all the time. If anybody knows me in real life, they can, vouch for that. I don't really, get very hyper that often. It's just not something that happens anymore. I kind of grew out of that, but I have a very, very, very hard time paying attention to things for long periods of time. I used to take medicine for this and everything, but I didn't like taking the medicine. I've never been somebody who just likes to, take medicine for things. That's just not who I am. And because of this, that means that anytime I do anything that's not extremely interesting to me, I have a hard time paying attention to it. It's just really difficult for me. Like, school is just the worst thing in the world for me because none of it's interesting to me. I can't find a single thing in school that I enjoy besides, my one class where I do Photoshop and, work with Adobe programs. It's okay doing that kind of stuff, but anything else, it makes it extremely, extremely difficult for me to focus on and pay attention and, retain all the information. Then another thing this actually causes is my brain works a little bit faster than other people. I'm constantly going from one thing to another, just thinking about all kinds of things all the time, and it's really ridiculous. It's actually kind of hard to keep up with. Thinking about my own thoughts is actually really hard to keep up with. I have to write things down really quickly because I go from one thing to another so quickly that I forget what the other thing was that I'm thinking about and this and that, and it's just really difficult for me. Then that actually causes something else. That causes me not to sleep well at night because when I try to go to sleep, most of the time when people are trying to go to bed or when they're laying in bed at night, they think a lot. I think even more than most people, so it makes it where I can't sleep at all. I can lay there for an hour, 2 hours sometimes before I can even fall asleep. So really, this is actually a really annoying thing to have. It doesn't affect me as much as it used to as a kid, though. That was when it was really, really, really bad. Because as a kid, I had the hyperactivity disorder part of it. So I was hyper all the time. I couldn't sit still. Whenever I was a kid, I'd constantly, jump out of my seat in class, do stupid stuff for attention. I wanted attention nonstop. I just wanted to do things, run around, have fun, just constantly, move about. I couldn't sit still whatsoever. Like if I was in my seat, I'd be jittering around, like moving my legs all the time, wanting to get up or do this or that. I just couldn't sit still whatsoever. So this has been a big thing that I've had to deal with in my life, and it's not really, as big as other things, and there's way worse things out there, and I shouldn't be complaining about this really, but it's something, it's a part of me, and I wanted you guys to know all that kind of stuff. It does help me a little bit though. Most of the time people who have ADHD or some type of disability actually can be a little bit smarter. One thing, my brain race goes a little bit faster than most other people, so it actually, helps me in some ways with some things. I can sometimes be a little bit smart. Maybe I can't, actually focus on the stuff as much as other people, but, I actually do good on tests and some other things, even though I don't study much or do other things, because sometimes my brain just works fast enough and can just problem solve and do things if I really put my mind to it and actually, try a whole lot. But anyways, I guess that's all I really want to say for this commentary. I just wanted to tell you guys about, what I had to deal with and all this kind of stuff. And I wanted to let you guys know a little bit more about me. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. As I said before, leave a like, comment down below any of your thoughts on this, whatever you want to comment. If you guys have anything, if you feel like, you can share that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people don't, want to share any kind of things like that. Subscribe if you haven't already as well. This has been cebmofroz, and peace.